Hello, this is Tom for Tabletop Tap Room. We're continuing our series of first edition rediscovered. Today we're going to be asking the question of which has the strongest fighter? Which fighter is the most proficient, the most powerful between first edition AD&D and fifth edition? And this all started because I was doing a little bit of a dive into fifth edition and looking to see how much of first edition AD&D was within it that would be covered by the OGL that covers fifth edition. Just a curiosity to myself. So before we get too deep into it, let me just say thanks for watching the video. Thanks to my subscribers. You guys are great. And don't forget that like, subscribe, and bell icon. Help me build the channel. So moving right along, looking at fifth edition. Now, fifth edition, let's see what we got here. Here we go. Character advancement in fifth edition. You've got proficiency bonuses. Now, proficiency bonuses, you're going to say, Tom, those don't exist in first edition AD&D. Actually, you might be surprised. They kind of do. But here they are from the fifth edition rule book. And you can see here that at first level, the proficiency bonus is a +2. And that the bonus doesn't change except every 4 levels. So you will stay at +2 for 4 levels. And then at 5th level, you go to +3. And you will stay at +3 until 9th level. You go to 4 and so on and so forth. Very straightforward table. Now, I wanted to try to sync up proficiency bonuses and this table a little bit with tables in first edition. So I started digging in to first edition, and that brought me to the attack matrix for fighters. Now this is also for paladins, rangers, bards, 0 level halflings, and humans. So now 0 level was kind of a thing back in AD&D and BXD&D, and but I don't ever remember this 0 level halflings. There certainly is no 0 level dwarves in this, or elves, but certainly halflings rate as low as humans. You can have 0 level halflings, and that was a nice little rediscovery in AD&D for myself doing this. Now, what I tried to do to figure out what is the equivalent or the apparent proficiency of a first edition AD&D fighter. And I decided, well, let's start at AC 10. AC 10 in both systems is no armor, no shield. Now, to hit an AC 10 in 5th edition, you've got to beat a 10. You've got to beat a 10 with a D20, but you have a proficiency bonus of +2. So in essence, you got to get an 8 or higher, okay, to beat an AC, to hit an AC 10. Now in AD&D, for a fighter to hit AC 10, now, there's no proficiency bonus here, but we have the effective proficiency bonuses because to hit an AC 10, the fighter must roll a 10. It's got no bonus. So I thought, well, let's assign a +0 for the AD&D fighter and just see what happens. Now, to note, I already pointed out that 5th edition fighters, 5th edition characters, all 5th edition characters, whether you're a magic user, whether you're a cleric, whether you're a thief, whatever you are, they all advance the same way. Their proficiency goes on. Now, certainly, we're just dealing with the attack matrix here to generate an apparent proficiency bonus for AD&D characters. But the proficiency bonus in 5th edition is certainly used for a whole smorgasbord of stuff. So it is a little bit different between the systems. I recognize that, but we're just working on what is the apparent proficiency bonus. Now, what I want to point out here is that the numbers change in this attack matrix every 2 levels. for the fighter. So they're when they reach third level, their proficiency bonus will become a +2. Okay, +2. They now only need an 8 to hit. And when they reach fifth level, their proficiency bonus will become a +4. It goes up by 2 every time that you go up. Now, that is not the same for all characters in first edition. Remember, first edition had asymmetric advancement, magic users advance the slowest, and so on. And we see here the attack matrix for the magic users and illusionists. It goes up every 5 levels. So their proficiency bonus to hit armor class 10 is actually a -1 at first level. To keep it equal to, in line with the numbers for the fighter and for the fighters in first and fifth edition, we've got to treat the proficiency bonus for the magic user because he's got to roll an 11, so it's one worse than the fighters from both systems. So he's got a -1, but every 5 levels, his proficiency will go up by 2. So let me pull up some of the other tables here. This is for clerics, druids, and monks, and we see that it's every 3 levels that they increase in their hitting power, their proficiency at hitting and combat. So that's clerics, and might as well do thieves and assassins. And again, it's every 4 levels. They are also at a -1 because they need an 11. The clerics needed the same 10. So clerics are at a +0, but thieves and magic users are at a -1, and they're a little slower to advance. Now, let's compare the fighters from both systems. So here we are with a little table I did up showing the level for a 5th edition fighter, and his proficiency bonus is a 2. First edition fighter, it's a 0. Cleric, so we've already covered that. Now let me just scroll down and bring up the other table. Now here is as they progress. So the 5th edition fighter is going to remain a 2 all the way to level 4, but the first edition fighter will be a 2. He's already caught up. He started out behind, but he's already caught up. The cleric is still lagging a little bit behind. The thief is up to a 1, and the magic user is still a -5 at 5th level. So as the progression goes, the 5th edition fighter he's gone from a 2 to a 3 for 4 levels, 5th through 8th. Now looking at 8th level, which is where the 5th edition fighter is about to change his proficiency level. He's at a 3, but the first edition fighter has already doubled him in apparent proficiency bonus. He has a +6 at this point based off of the combat matrix tables. The first edition cleric has already exceeded the 5th edition characters with a 4. The thief is still lagging at a 1, and the magic user is now up to a 1 in first edition. Now, moving on, the 5th edition characters all progress to a proficiency bonus of 4 for levels 9 through 12, whereas by level 12, the first edition fighter is a +10. He has increased in his combat hitting power to a +10. That's pretty hefty. Okay, the first edition cleric is at a 6. He's blown by the first edition, the 5th edition characters, and the thief is beginning to catch up. He is at a 3. The magic user's at a 3. They're just 1 point behind all 5th edition characters at level 12. Now, level 13 through 16, 5th edition characters progress to a proficiency bonus of a 5. However, the same combat hitting power in a 1st edition character, the 1st edition fighter, is now a 14. He is hitting at a plus 14 on the 20-sided die. The cleric is at a 10, and the thief is at a 5, and the magic user is at a 5. They have now caught up to 5th edition characters. And let's just jump down to level 20, where this table caps out. The 5th edition characters have maxed out at 6 plus 6 proficiency bonus, but the 1st edition fighter has a 18 plus 18. The cleric is a plus 12, the thief is a 7, and the magic user is a 5. He has fallen just to the nature of the beast with the different progressions there. He's fallen behind by 1 point, but he is holding steady in combat power to 5th edition characters. All 1st edition characters have caught up or exceeded 5th edition characters by this point, by level 20. So I have to ask the question, what would you rather have? A character who's got a proficiency bonus of a plus 6 or a plus 18? Wow. The combat hitting power of 1st edition characters seems to be naturally higher than 5th edition characters. Now, of course, part of what has happened with 5th edition characters is you have these optional feat-like features as they go up in level. So you get all these extra little features to make up for the fact that they have been nerfed and they're weaklings in their combat hitting power. So you start taking all these options, which end up slowing down the game because people got to look through all their options and go, all right, I got this, and I'm gonna intersect it with this, and this other character is doing this thing, and it just slows down the game. It just makes 5th edition a slow game to play. So the most powerful characters in the game appear to be 1st edition characters, just on their raw apparent proficiency bonus. To be certain, the rules in 5th edition do compensate with all those extra added features that slow down the game, sure, but they start adding all these extra little numbers and abilities and spell-like effects, the types of things to compensate for the nerfed characters, the way they've gone at it with the proficiency bonus in 5th edition. So old school rules brought the power. They brought it very simply. They brought it in a format that did not slow down the game with this endless trying to figure out, what am I going to do this turn? No, I'm going to whack him with my sword. It's pretty straightforward, especially when I've got a plus 12 to hit. I'm going after the adversary. Absolutely. Whereas in 5th edition, you have a lot of extra little things you're tacking on and adding on, and you're trying to get the most advantage. And again, it just slows down the game. So this is Tom for Tabletop Tap Room, where I believe the 1st edition fighter is more powerful than the 5th edition fighter, with the caveat that, yeah, I know there are some compensations in the 5th edition rules. So I will say thanks for watching. If you disagree, go ahead and put something in the comments. But otherwise, please remember to hit the like, subscribe, bell icon. Help me build the channel. And as always, keep on gaming. And maybe the next time you play 1st edition AD&D, try out a fighter, especially if it's a high-level game. He's going to be whacking some things. He's got the power to do it.